Charisma is a fantastic word to know in English. Simply put, charisma is a characteristic that combines warmth, kindness, and power or influence. Someone can have charisma or they can be charismatic. Now, in this description, I'm using that word warmth, but I don't mean someone's temperature. Instead, when we use warmth to describe someone's personality or their qualities, it is a synonym for using words like kind, nice, caring, and patient. All very positive qualities. In a dictionary, charisma is defined as a personal magic of leadership, someone who inspires loyalty and creates enthusiasm, someone with positive influence. So why is this word so important? Why are we talking about it today? Displaying charisma is a powerful, effective way to demonstrate friendliness and have positive influence at work, something that we all want to do. I am Anne-Marie with Speak Confident English. This is exactly where you want to be every week to get the confidence you want for your life and work in English. And in this video today, you're going to learn 10 ways to demonstrate charisma in English at work. And the good news is you already have all the language you need to do this successfully. Let's start right away with the first way you can demonstrate charisma at work. Greet everyone. It might surprise you because this seems so basic. But how often do we ignore other people? How often do we stand in an elevator and say nothing? How often do we pass someone else in a hallway and say nothing? Using a simple hi or hello is a kind way to acknowledge the humanity and existence of another person. It doesn't seem like much, but sometimes a simple hi or hello can say so much more. It can say, I see you, I acknowledge you, and that is powerful. The second way to demonstrate charisma is to never underestimate the power of politeness. Just like using a greeting, remembering to say, please, thank you, and you're welcome is a simple act of kindness. And sometimes it's the simple things we remember the most. Do you have someone at work who always says thank you when you do something nice for them? Doesn't that feel wonderful? You probably remember that about that individual. And you can do the same thing for others. Strategy number 3 is to show that you're interested. How do you feel when someone says to you, that's so interesting, tell me more about that? You probably feel pretty good, and you probably enjoy talking about whatever opinion or experience it might be. When people show interest in us, we have a very positive impression of them. We think that those people are really interesting, warm, kind, and wonderful. You can do the same thing for others. I actually have a full lesson on this topic of how to be interesting in English, and it comes down to just a few simple things, such as listening to other people carefully, showing that you're listening to them, and asking questions that indicate you're interested in what they have to say. I definitely recommend taking time to review that other lesson so that you can get all those details. The fourth way you can demonstrate charisma at work is to recognize others and their accomplishments. How do you feel when someone says, I'm really impressed with how you did, or you did a great job with that presentation? It feels pretty good, doesn't it? And you probably have a very positive impression of the person who said that. You're grateful for their kind comment. You can do the same for other people, and the language we use for this is extremely simple. You can use sentences like, I'm really impressed with how you put that presentation together. I'm really impressed with how quickly you were able to finish the budget. If someone delivers a product to you, you could say, "This is exactly what I was hoping for," or "This is exactly what I envisioned. This is exactly what I wanted." Or simply, "You did this really well." Strategy number 5 is to tell others when you take their advice. Now, I want to be clear, in this example, I'm not saying that you ask for advice. That's certainly the first step. But tell someone when you actually use or follow their advice. We all love to give recommendations or share what we think others should do. But it's particularly powerful when someone says, "I followed your advice. Thank you so much." Or, "Thank you. I took your advice and it was exactly what I needed." It is extremely powerful in the best way possible when someone follows our advice and they were successful because of it. The 6th way is quite similar to number 5. Tell others when they were right. Don't you love it when someone says to you, "You were exactly right"? It validates your opinions, your methods, the way you do things, the way you think. And someone who is charismatic does that for other people. And as I've mentioned before, you already have all the language you need to do this successfully in English. All you need is, "You were right. You were right about how to handle that difficult client. You were right about those budget numbers. You were right about that marketing strategy plan." You could also say, "Thank you so much for sharing your idea, your opinion, your advice. You were right." Number 7 might surprise you. Say no when you need to, and be clear but polite. It's a little bit strange to say that people who are charismatic, who are warm, kind, and powerful, should say no. But here's why. How do you feel when you ask someone to do something and then they cancel on you at the last minute? It's frustrating, isn't it? And it probably creates a lot of stress in your life, maybe even a feeling of rejection. If someone asks you to do something and you know that you either don't want to do it or you really can't, maybe you have too many other things to do, but you say yes out of politeness, it is much better to be honest up front, to say no at the beginning in a really clear and polite way. Thankfully, there are some wonderful, simple ways that we can do that, and I have a full lesson on that topic. I've got a link to that lesson below in the video, so if that's something that you want to learn, I definitely recommend checking it out. Strategy number 8 for demonstrating charisma at work is to show enthusiasm and celebrate others' successes. How do you feel when something wonderful happens in your life and someone says, "Oh my gosh, congratulations, I am so happy for you"? And it is genuine, true happiness. You probably feel wonderful. It is great when other people celebrate with us. It's definitely better than someone being jealous or angry because they didn't have that successful thing in their life. Remember, charisma is this interesting combination of warmth, kindness, and power. The ability to genuinely be happy for someone else when they've been successful is a clear demonstration of those qualities. And all it takes are words like, "Congratulations, I'm so happy for you. That's fantastic news. That's wonderful." The language we need for that is simple, but it's powerful when we use it. Number 9 on our list of how to show charisma at work is to be supportive. Whether someone is having a bad day, maybe they've missed a deadline or made a mistake, or perhaps there's a big project coming up, a presentation in English, and they're feeling really nervous about it. Having someone else's support may be the one thing they need. And all you need to say is, "I believe in you. I know you can do this." Or if they're in a frustrating situation, say, "I'm really sorry. That sounds difficult. That sounds really challenging. I'm sorry you're going through that." It doesn't take a lot of time or effort to be supportive of someone else, but it will display charisma, that combination of warmth, kindness, and power, that personal magic of leadership. And finally, number 10 on our list is to be helpful when you can. 2 simple questions you can use are, what can I do to help? Or, is there anything I can do to help? With that, you have 10 simple but effective ways to demonstrate charisma at work with your coworkers, your peers, your supervisors, anyone you work with. And in doing so, you are expressing kindness, friendliness, and positivity in English. Now, before we finish today, I would love to know if there are other strategies you use to demonstrate charisma. If so, share them in the comments below. If you found this lesson useful to you, as always, I would love to know, and you can tell me in 3 very simple ways. Number 1, give this lesson a thumbs up here on YouTube and subscribe to my channel so that you never miss one of my Confident English lessons. Number 2, if you know someone who's struggling with communicating at work and wants to demonstrate politeness, kindness, and friendliness, share this lesson with them. You can do that by email or by sharing it on Facebook. And finally, the last way that you can tell me this lesson was useful to you is to share with a comment below. In particular, I want you to share your examples of demonstrating charisma in English. Have a wonderful week. Thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you next time for your Confident English lesson.